Hey guys, welcome to this acrylic painting lesson. I'm Mike Ferris. I'm going to be getting started on my 8x10 pre-stretched canvas and my image already laid out. And it is a very simple image, as you can see. There's not a whole lot of detail, but if you'd like help with the drawing process, I do have this image available in a traceable in 2 standard canvas sizes that you can find down below in the description box. Okay, so on my palette, I'm going to start off with some raw umber, some phthalo green, some yellow medium, Cad Orange, and over here I've put titanium white. There's some other colors or another color that I'm going to lay down later. But for right now, to get started with these, I'm going to be doing this out of focus background, and I'm going to take my number 8 flat brush here just to kind of fill it all in for now. So I'm going to take a little bit of yellow, good scoop of raw umber to that. So I'm kind of looking for a dark, kind of darker army green kind of to start off with. All right, I'll just kind of do something like this just to kind of get a base color down. Kind of over in this area here, just kind of do something like that. I'll even get the borders of my canvas as well, which you don't have to do that. I just kind of like to wrap my picture around. I think that looks pretty cool. So just gonna get this down for now. I do kind of want it lighter up in this area here, so I'm just going to get titanium white on my brush. I haven't cleaned it. I just kind of want to lighten this. This is going to be more of a light source that's kind of zinging down onto the avocado and in our background area here. And as always with every picture, you always want to have a light source and a direction where that light's coming from, because that also adds realism to a picture, and it shows, you know, the shine and how that shine is happening, kind of coming from, you know, wherever it's coming from. And so I just kind of want to establish that and just kind of blend this down. So you just kind of something like this. And just kind of something like that. And just kind of work around this avocado a little bit more. Okay, not really worried about too many, you know, about it being too exact around it. When I get color down on the avocado, I'm going to cover any background that goes into it, but I want to be as careful as I can. I don't want to spend too much time covering stuff up if I don't have to, because it does take 1 or 2 coats or more sometimes to cover something up so you can get it not showing up at all. I'm going to leave it all broken up so I can blend into it. So I'm going to clean this brush now. On this side now, I want to do more of a green color. This is more of an army green. I want to get it more vibrant green here, and this is what I got the phthalo green for instead of making my own green. And you don't have to use phthalo green if you don't have it, or if you don't want to use it. You can use blue and mostly yellow to make a green if that's what you want to do, and then vary it from there. But the vibrant green, the phthalo green, just makes it more of a pop and gives more of a bright color to it effect. Okay, so I'm going to go a little bit into that raw umber. See, and I can darken and dull this green down. Even though I am dulling it, it's keeping its vibrance alive, and it's giving me the tone that I want. Okay, so something kind of like this. It's a lot darker green, as you can see. And I'm going to put that, let's see, a little bit more raw umber into that, actually. Yeah, more like this. Okay, so something like that. I just want to get this, like I said, this base color down. And I want to be able to work on top of this because it's going to bring depth into the background and show more of a realistic background of, I don't know, kind of some trees and some foliage in the background kind of happening here. Okay, this is kind of like my shadow color that I'm starting off with. And again, I don't want to get, so with darker colors, I want to be a little bit more careful not to get any of that into my avocado where I'm going to have lighter colors, just because, of course, with acrylics, it takes a lot more layers, and that means more time and building up what I need to cover something that's darker. When it comes to light colors, though, I don't really care too much, as you can see over here, but as you can see on this side, it's more precise. I was a little bit more careful there. It's just harder to cover up dark values with acrylics than it is light ones. Light ones are easy. So one thing I find too when covering up dark colors is to take titanium white and go over it, let it dry, and then on top of that, it's like you have new canvas again to cover, and it just really gets the dark out of there. You don't have to spend too much time with more layers trying to cover it up with the actual color that you want to cover it with. Okay, so just kind of working quick, you know, not really too worried about perfection and brush strokes. Okay, and over here, I'm just gonna sort of kind of fade this over. See that? I'm just kind of rubbing this over here as the paint runs off the brush. I can get this kind of blended in. I don't know, just kind of something like that. I know it looks rough at first. Again, first coats, I don't care. It's just shadow color. When I go on top with final colors, it'll really light this up and give it that background that I'm looking for. Okay, so getting more of that color, I'm gonna get, again, more of that raw umber into my Phthalo Green, getting that really dark shadow green color established down here. Okay, just gonna go up to that horizon line there. And of course, like I said, I wanna do, you know, the sides here. I think that adds some really cool stuff. When you can see a picture and that wrap around like that, it just kind of gives it this cool look to it, like that it continues on beyond the picture. And just kind of something like that. I like this. Hey, in your painting, do what you want to do. You don't have to wrap anything if you don't want. You can just keep it, you know, on there, however you want to do it. Okay, just covering up some more of these spots here where the canvas didn't get filled in all the way, these little holes here. Color didn't make it in all the way. It's all good. Okay, just kind of running this up. Just kind of something like that, okay? So I'm gonna let that dry for just a moment. And if you live somewhere wetter like I do, I live in the tropics, but if you live like in Utah where it's really dry, probably just let your canvas dry on its own. It'll be ready to go in just a few minutes, but I'll be back in just a second after this dries. Okay, I have my number 4 natural flat bristle brush. You can see the bristles here. Those natural bristles are excellent for doing gradients and for doing blends and out of focus type of stuff. So, and it's also great for clouds too, by the way. So I'm going to be using this to go on top of now this base color that I put. And I want to get, again, my light source coming from this side kind of down. So I'm going to take more of this yellow and that raw umber mixture and quite a bit of white to that. I want a very, very light, dulled down yellow color here. Okay, kind of something like this, I'm thinking. Okay. And just like this. And again, I'll go on top for the borders. Gonna have this picture wrap around. Give that cool effect there that it keeps going beyond this whole canvas into some other realm or dimension or whatever. All right, so see, I'm bringing this down now and you can see some of that brown showing through. It gives it more depth and dimension this way and gives it more fullness. Okay, kind of like that. I'm gonna lay down, as you can see, if I do very little pressure with the brush. And I'm just kind of demoing this here just while I'm here to show this. It really gives it that nice gradient blend here. This paint kind of creeps over it little by little and becomes less and less. It gives it that blend effect and also that out of focus look that I want to achieve on this. Okay, super well like that. So I'm going to keep working this down, kind of applying more layers here. I'm going to bring this over, kind of do something like that. Look to it, see, kind of like that. Okay, so just gonna keep working this color down. All right, I'm gonna get more white now. The reason I want to get more white is because up here, I really want to show the light hitting strongest up here. I want to fade this down, kind of like this. See that? Gives it more of a light indication, like the light kind of comes in strong at top and then it kind of trickles off as it comes down more. Okay, just like that. And I want to get just a teeny bit of Cad Orange. I mean, just barely any. You can barely tell that it's there, but it's going to make all the difference, I believe, with the effect of the light and just kind of giving it kind of a glow to it. So see, kind of like that. It's barely anything. Maybe a little bit more into that, but that's it. Okay, just a slight hint of an orange hue that kind of happens. And I'm using very light pressure. You can see kind of like this. I just want to kind of glaze this color in. And by glazing, I mean just give it barely any hue to it, where it's not actually taking over anything, but it's more or less just kind of playing along with what's there without taking over what's there, if that makes sense. Hence why I put just a teeny bit of it and using very light pressure. And of course a dry natural bristle brush is the key to getting those gradients and getting things to play in very subtly like this. See, and you can really ramp up your color and get it popping like that. Okay, so I want to go a little bit more yellow now, a little bit more of that color into titanium white, and a little bit more of this raw umber into it. It's going to get kind of a lighter shade of that dark army green. Okay, and kind of do something like this. And let's see, I want to get a very vibrant green now over these bottom areas here on both sides. So I'm going to take just a little phthalo green, good scoop of yellow medium to that. And as you can see, a very vibrant green going on here. Okay, just kind of something like this. And I want to start over here. And I kind of want to do this. Okay, just kind of blending this kind of over this way a little bit. See that? Gets a little bit lighter as it goes on this lighter value as opposed to on this darker value, but I'm using the same value. And in this way, when you have undertones like this, you can actually, in a way, give the indication of values kind of changing a little bit when you run them over different colors underneath it. So just kind of something like this. And again, a dry brush. Just kind of running this over this way. Okay, something like that. And it's starting to kind of come together and look like it should in a cool way. I don't want to cover all this dark up though, but I do want to cover up, well, I don't even want to say cover, but just kind of put it on most of it because it still shows through. And the thing about white too, as you can see as I do this, it's getting more of a blended look. You can see it's kind of a fuzzy, now out of focus, kind of a background sort of look to it. And this white really sets off that out of focus super well this way. In fact, one of you had asked me if you needed white to make bokeh, to make that out of focus look, and the answer just depends. But I'll tell you, with white, it really does ramp up the out of focus look that much more when you put it in like this. So the answer to that question is yes, white definitely is helpful in creating that out of focus effect. Super well. Okay, so kind of something like that. And I'll get some more of this green. And I'll just bring it up so you can see. I get some more of that green, maybe some more of that yellow, get some more white. Okay, and anything that you don't like, you can take a value and cover it over since acrylics do dry so fast. So whatever's not, the color that you want, it's all good, because every time you put a new color down, it just makes the fullness and the smoothest, or the smooth features of it and the blended look and the coloration that much better. Because again, with acrylics, it's all about the layers, and each layer just makes something more effective and just gives it more depth and dimension and all those things. So Don't be afraid to put color down, even if it's not your final, color, or even the right color for that matter. It's all good. Okay, just layers on layers. It just gets better each time. And if you don't like it, it just means it's not done yet. And you can make it done to the degree that you want it to be done. Okay, again, more titanium white. Just a little bit of paint at a time. And I want to take now and run this kind of up into this a little bit. See that? That just kind of brings them together, and it also helps the light kind of infiltrate down into the painting a little bit more, so that it looks like light coming in instead of just sudden change in color without really understanding what's going on. So in my case, I want to make it look like light's kind of infiltrating into the background, kind of like there's trees and brush, and you've got a nice, wonderful morning air, or morning sunlight, I should say, and the air too. come down into the sky and just light things up. Okay, little sun spots here and there, little sun kisses, little sun kind of light just kind of sneaking in here and there, but not everywhere. Okay, letting these values play together, letting these blends kind of take off. Okay, now again, more titanium white. I just want to again enhance this light coming in up top a little bit stronger. Okay, see, so something like that. Ain't that nice? Okay, I'm going to clean this brush again. I just want to get all the values of brown and all that off there. And again, I want to dry. Natural bristle brush. Dry is the key to this brush working the way that it does and getting those blends and the effect as best as you can. Okay, I'm going to go yellow medium. Just a teeny bit of phthalo green into that, not much. I want to, again, just kind of go back over some of this. And I want to let some of this dark show. Okay, so basically where I want it the heaviest and the most vibrant is where I'll start the brush first, and as paint runs off the brush, it's going to allow more of that dark shadow color to show through and give it more of a dimension and depth and keep those shadows alive. Okay, kind of something like that. Okay, so I'm going to get a little heavier right in here. Again, up top, have that picture wrap off and going off into another dimension. Off from the canvas, somewhere else in time, I don't know. All right. Let's see, just kind of stirring this up. And even if I do cover up too much of the dark, I can always take dark and just a teeny bit of it on the brush and just fade that back in. All good. See, there's never a right or wrong. It's never a mistake. You don't have to live with anything. You can always adjust your colors to be whatever you want it to be. And if you don't like something, it just means it needs more layers, it needs more adjustment, and you're just not done. Okay, so something like that. You can see we got more vibrance over here and more of a fade over there. It's all good. And just kind of run this up. However, maybe this is like some tree that's coming this way. We don't know. It's out of focus. No big deal. All right, now I want to light up some of this part of the background here. So I'm going to take some white without cleaning and some yellow medium. Okay, a little bit of that color. Okay, so essentially I'm just getting this green to be lighter and more vibrant, and where I want it the heaviest, of course. I'm going to start there first. And just very light pressure as I bring it up. Okay, just kind of like that. Okay, turning the brush over. See, I've got both sides loaded up. Okay, and if you get a little hole like that, it's all good. Just let it dry, or try to see if you can tap some color over it to fill it in better. But if not, sometimes that happens with acrylics. You just got to let it dry and then come back in and put another layer down over it. Just the nature of the beast. It's all good. Don't fight it. And let's see, I'm going to now take a little bit more Phthalo Green and a little bit more of this yellow medium to it. Okay, more of that vibrant green like this. And I want to surround some of this. Just kind of do something like that, see that? Just kind of let these bristles, these natural bristles, kind of fade in, just kind of like that. Okay, as I get around it, it just kind of pops out that glow a little bit more. Okay, I'll even put some of that over here. What the heck? Okay, some of that plant life shown over there. Maybe there's some right there and there. I don't know. Whatever you want. Just blend it in, have some fun. There's no right or wrong. It's background. It's really all about our avocado, but you know, this background stuff really does something and it enhances so much. Okay, I'm gonna go with titanium white again. Okay, again. A little bit of this yellow medium into it. Okay, just a little bit of paint on the brush. I'm gonna wipe a lot of that off. Okay, and let's go back in and fill these holes in a little bit. See if I can fill those in now. And just very, very little pressure on the brush. I don't want to cover up all that faded color. I just want to put it in the center and just kind of creep the bristles over the canvas like this. See that? And it just takes that paint, blends it in real well. I can even use my finger to settle it down if I want to. Finger painting is definitely okay in the acrylic world. Don't be afraid to do that. All right, so let's see in the middle here again where it kind of didn't cover. Okay, more opaque with more white, and I have a better time covering it up, even though it's still kind of showing this hole a little bit. It's all good. Just kind of whatever, something like that. And again, let's get some more of that green. Let's get more yellow into that green, so that kind of changes the flavor a little bit. See that? Kind of like that. Again, very little pressure on the brush. And again, let's go outside on the outside. Just pretty much where this light value meets this darker green, I'm going to go with this lighter green in between that, right where they meet, and just kind of give this faded kind of glow enhancement. See, that kind of takes that and it just gives that glow really well like that. See, it just kind of pops it out of there. Isn't that nice? Without cleaning, I'm just going to take some more yellow, just a little bit of yellow, and I'm going to take more titanium white. Okay, just kind of something like that. And wiping again a lot of the paint off the brush. I just want to, once again, go back into here. Okay, so it's not covering very well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let this dry, and I'm going to come in with these glow tones, and I'll just fill that in just a moment. Okay, let's try this again. I'm going to fill in these little holes here that were left. As you know, with acrylics, it does happen. All good. So you can see I'm just going back again into that yellowish phthalo green, some titanium white, just kind of mixing up a light value here. And let's see, let's go on top. Oh yeah, see, that covers it so much better. And I'll go over it again, but yeah, something like this. Okay. And just kind of getting this going like that, yeah. Okay, so much better. See, just let it dry. Don't fight it. It's all good. No need to. It will do what it's going to do. You just kind of learn how to work with it and understand the way that acrylics works. And, you know, it is what it is. And we just go with it. All good. And if you want, you can also use a hair dryer. Put it on medium heat. That dries it super fast. Good couple minutes of a solid back and forth. Do just great. Okay, something like that. I don't know. It's just something for background. We don't know. Okay, I want to go back again now into some more Phthalo Green and some Cad Yellow. Okay, get more of that vibrant green on there. Okay, a lot of that color off my brush, and again, just kind of encamp around some of that light color. See, that just really sets it off, makes it glow a lot more. And in this way too, it also enhances the out of focus bokeh effect when you can put a glow and shine on it like that by adding this extra color around it and just kind of blending that into that lighter color just a teeny bit on the edges. Just kind of grabs it and pops it out that much more, I think. Okay. All right, without cleaning, I'm going to take some yellow, just a little bit of this raw umber into it. Okay, just kind of like that. And kind of just want to just kind of come over here. See, just kind of give this little darker value over here a little bit and sort of blend this over just a little bit like that. See that? Not much. Just kind of does something. I don't know, brings it together a little bit better, I think. Okay, so get creative, whatever you want to do. No right or wrong. So, yeah, kind of something like that. Okay, I'm going to clean this brush now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in the bottom now. And this is going to be, again, a base coat of some colors. So I'm going to take some raw umber and some titanium white. Okay, I'm thinking something about, I don't know, maybe a little bit more raw umber, something like this. Just something for the background here. It's like on some kind of a table or something. Okay. And again, the borders, the sides, the edges, I'll just fill this all in with this value. Okay, so something like that. I got a leaf here that I'll fill in later, but for now I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and clean this brush now. That again was my number 8 flat brush. I'm going to take again that natural bristle brush here. I want to get it bokeh out of focus there. So what I'm going to do is take a little raw umber and some Cad Yellow. And let's see, I'll even take a little bit of Phthalo Green to that. Okay, just kind of something dark, army kind of green. Lots of paint off that brush, barely any on the bristles, okay? And I got them frayed out. And watch this, I'm just gonna come in here. And I'm just going to do this fuzzy, blended kind of a deal here where it puts it kind of out of focus, see? Kind of like that. Yeah, something like that, see that? And again on the edge here, making this picture go somewhere else off of this canvas. Here again. And it just really pops the details and the in-focus object off of all of this super well. Really draws the eye in as another contrasting element besides the colors and the lights and the shadows. You have the in-focus and out-of-focus that are contrasting as well. It just makes it more interesting to look at. And the eye just cannot get enough. And it's a wowzer of a scene, if you will. Okay, so let's get some titanium white now back into that color. I want to go very light again, very, very light. And this is where the light's hitting it really hard. Okay, bringing it down along this avocado. Okay, on the outside there, going around it. Okay, and I just kind of want to do something where I'm just kind of fuzzing this up, even over that dark stuff there. It's all good. See, kind of like that. Light's just kind of taking over right there. Okay, and again, just kind of fuzz this down, running the paint off the brush, just kind of dry scrubbing it. And it's all good, just kind of like that. Okay, one last thing that I want to do here, again with my natural flat bristle brush here, is I want to take, again, just a teeny bit of yellow. It's got a little bit of that raw umber into it, mostly titanium white. And I want to just tap this color out until it's like just barely any, okay? And I just want to come around here again. Actually, that's a little too much white there. Let's try that again, shall we? Okay, so it's all good. See, I can adjust these colors. All right, something like this. Yeah, there we go. I just kind of want to do this. And just kind of bringing it over. Okay, just kind of brings a picture in. Gives this light some more infiltration into the painting here a little bit. Yeah. Okay, and I'm going to mix up some colors here with my palette knife. So to start with, I'm going to take a little bit of Cad yellow, actually a good scoop of it, and just a little bit of Phthalo Blue now that I've added to my palette here. Okay, with that, and I want to make up another type of green. Okay, just kind of something. Okay, so I'm picking it up, smashing it down, like playing hockey with it. Okay, pick it up, smash it down, and I'll set this value like this, kind of like that for now, okay? And not having it totally flat because it doesn't dry as quick if I have it kind of more in a pile like this as opposed to just flat. Okay, it'll dry a lot sooner that way. All right, and now what I want to do, wiping this knife off, I want to take a little bit of Phthalo Green, not much, just barely any at all, and a good scoop of yellow to that. Okay, so we've got something like this. Okay, so now let's see, maybe just a little bit more Phthalo Green. Okay, not much, just, yeah, something like that. Okay. And actually, I want to go a little bit more because I want more color. Actually, so some more Phthalo Green. Okay, something like this. And then a little bit of raw umber. I want to dull this down just a little bit. Kind of gives it, okay, a little bit more yellow. Okay. And actually, I'm going to have to get some more yellow now. My palette kind of ran out here. It's all good. Okay. And let's see, let's get some more yellow now up into this guy. Okay, kind of like that. There we go. I want it more yellowish. Okay, and now I want a good scoop of white. Okay, so it's this very, very light, kind of almost lime green. So when you put raw umber into Phthalo Green, and then some titanium white with a little yellow, you get kind of this lime green, and then of course white will desaturate it down, kind of like I'm doing like this. Okay, so this is perfect right here. This is exactly what I want. Okay, just getting the rest of that color mixed. And let me see, I'm gonna set that right here. Okay, just like that, so I can have that to work off of. Okay, and now what I want to do is I want to take now some Phthalo Blue, okay, maybe just like this, and I want to take some raw umber. So essentially this makes black, and this is for the rind of the avocado. I don't want it completely permanent black because I'm going to use that in some other areas, so I will add permanent black here in just a little bit, or after a bit. But I just kind of wanted to get this rind more of a very dark Payne's gray to give it more of that realistic look to it. Okay, a little bit more blue into that. There we go, perfect. So just like this. Okay, and I'll just have this kind of sit there like that for when need be. Okay, and now I have my number 6 angle brush. This is perfect with a nice edge and tip to get very crisp and precise lines. And those crisp, precise lines is going to show that this avocado is in focus against all this fuzzy blended stuff in the background that's out of focus, bringing in another element of contrast to the painting. And this is what's going to give more pop and draw the eye in that much more with all the other contrasting elements involved. So what I'm going to do actually is now I'm going to take just some of this dark Payne's gray, or made black with that phthalo blue and raw umber. See, and I'm just kind of going like this. I just want to get a nice sharp tip, nice sharp edge, just like that. And just want to go very carefully because this is a dark value. I don't want to biff here and go out into the light background here, okay, because this is a dark color, and again, it is hard to cover up dark. It takes a bit of time and some colors and all that. So just kind of want to go like this. See, just kind of like that. And I'm even going to turn my canvas so that I can get a better angle on it, and I can also see better what I'm doing. I'm going to go down like this. And I'll even show a little bit of, this spillage in the way, because this gives the rind texture. So it doesn't have to be all super straight. In fact, I want to add some of that up here. Okay, just kind of add some of this little irregularity to it, see? Okay, and up here. As it comes this way, I'm going to have it get wider because it's the three-dimensional look of the rind that's going back behind the avocado, giving it that round shape. So I'm going to press a little harder with my brush, as you can see here, and continue down like this. Okay, just kind of like this. And again, giving these little irregular bumps out there. Okay, a little bit more as we get down here. Okay, and actually what I want to do, well, I'll get to that in a minute. I just want to load up some more paint first. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take this green that I made here. Okay, load that up. Okay, and right here, I'm going to go right along the edge. Okay, just kind of like this. And see again with the edge, I can very precisely bring it exactly where I want it to. I don't have to go outside the line. I don't have to coat over that dark edge that I made. See, I can just get it real nice and up to that line very well. So I'm just going to establish right up to the line for now. Okay, with this value. While I'm at it, I'm just going to do this real quick. I'm going to take some more yellow and some phthalo blue and get some more of that green color there. See, this is a little bit different green. And let's just block in right here. I just want to block in the leaf. All right, let's get in between the pit now and the outer part that I did. I'm going to get this dulled down lime kind of green here. Okay, and let's go in with this. Now I'll fill this all in around everything. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and clean that brush again. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to let this dry a little bit. I'm going to actually clean it up, but I'm just getting some color where it goes for now. So what I want to do now is actually, I'm going to add another color. Remember, I left that space in between the white there and the rest of my colors when I started off on my palette. And as you saw, I added some Phthalo Blue. And now to that, I'm going to add some burnt umber. And I'm going to actually take some of that. And I'm going to take some Cad Orange. And I want to do something like this. See, it's got this really vibrant brownish orange color. And I'll just block in the pit with this. And of course, with the tip and the edge of this angle brush, I'll be able to get this round, object here really well. So see right up there. Look at how well that just goes on there. Following that line, I can just pull the paint in from there. And just like that, and just block in this pit really good like this. Let's see, I kind of want to blend this lime green with this other green in the flesh here just a little bit, and I want to bring the other green out into it just a little bit more to show more of that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my beat up number 2 flat brush. This really helps to blend and also get into smaller areas and get more precise with where I want stuff. So I'm going to take now this green again, and of course you can see all of the breaks in the paint, that first layer here. Got to have more than one layer for sure on things, so this is why I wasn't too worried about how neat everything was. Okay, so right here, I'm going to fill it in again just a little bit stronger. And as you can see, it looks better now. It looks more filled in. And I kind of want to do some more of this green value here that I made. Okay, just a little bit on the brush. And up here, just very, very little pressure with my brush. I just kind of want to bring it in. I'm gonna make it irregular a little bit here. Okay. Nature doesn't have perfection all the time with lines and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna sort of do something like this. Okay, just kind of stir that up maybe a little bit. Okay, anything you want to do. Okay, that gives it more of a natural look, I think, yeah. Okay, and same thing this side here. Okay, no cleaning. I'm just going to take this and once again just kind of come up here with this, yeah, like that. See, I can always knock this back, and I want it more yellow, or more of this lime yellow color up here. Remember, that's Phthalo Green with some some yellow medium and just a teeny bit of raw umber to dull it down to give it that lime look, and of course more yellow out of all the colors. And then check that out, just kind of like that. See that? Make that nice. Okay. So again, building up layers, see how much better it gets each layer each time. We can really get in here so well and do this. And lovely. Look at that pop now though. Look at how great and just natural that's starting to look. That's really taking off now. And I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. While I'm with this brush now, because this is perfect for doing all these gradients too, the same one in the smaller areas, I'm going to get this leaf now, and I'm going to go into some titanium white. I'm sorry, some yellow medium with titanium white in it. Okay, just something super light like this, wiping most of that color off the brush. And let's go in like this, and let's create striking highlight where the line of the leaf is. See where the light's hitting it like that? And I'll just kind of throw some color in here like this, and maybe a little bit of that right in here. Okay, I don't know, something like that maybe, yeah. Okay, let's get some of that out here. I'll have the thing wrap around, remember? Okay, so now what I want to do is take some Phthalo Blue, just a touch of yellow. So I want this really a lot darker green. See some more Phthalo Blue, some more yellow. Okay, a little bit more Phthalo Blue to darken that. Okay, I'm thinking something like this. Okay, very little paint on the brush again. And right here in the shadow area, see this like that? Isn't that nice? Okay, gives it shadow right there, and also up here. Okay, something like that, and then nice little line there. Okay. All right, something like that, and then watch. I'm just gonna take now some titanium white, just a teeny bit of cad yellow to that, not much. Okay, just a little bit. And what I want to do is just strike a highlight like this. It shows the stem of the leaf, yeah, like that. Okay, something like that. And then again, just kind of flick that over like that. Okay, something like that. Okay, so we have some shadow now playing. And then I want to take some yellow and some phthalo green, more yellow than phthalo green. Okay, a very vibrant green here. And I want to show some light kind of striking through right here. See that? Okay, something like that. And knocking back some of that. So, you know, something like that. It doesn't have to be super fancy, just, you know, the indication of a leaf. Okay, something going on like that. Okay, so now I'm going to build up some dimension now on the pit, making all of it shine and dimension and 3D look to it. And I'm going to mix up some colors to blend on top for more base colors. So I have here added to my palette some Magenta Red. I'm going to take just a little bit of that, and I made a spot here on my palette with my razor knife, just kind of scraped off some dry paint that I wasn't using anymore and was able to get this spot here. Okay, I'm going to go into some Cad Orange. I'm going to do something like that, and now just a little bit of burnt umber into that. So I want this very vibrant kind of orangey brown color here. Okay, just kind of something like that. Okay, and just kind of set that right there. Now what I want to do is I want to get just a little bit of raw umber and some cad yellow. The cad yellow really is just to warm up the brown. And you'll see just here in a moment how that does that. See that? Just makes it a really nice brown tone. Looks very nice against for that pit there. Okay, and again with my number 2 beat up nylon flat brush, I'm going to be able to get in here into these smaller areas and blend really well with this as I lay these colors down. So I'm going to take this orangey vibrant brownish color here, and I'm going to place that right in here. Okay, being very careful on the edge here. I don't want to go back outside that. And let's see, I'm going to go up here. Okay, so as you can see, base color first. At least, I don't know, maybe sometimes 2 coats of it, depending on the value that you're using or how transparent or opaque it is. In this case, because of this darker brown color, I was able to just do 1 coat that I needed. Okay, so I'm just going to bring it to about right here. Just kind of bring this down. This is going to show, again, our light source coming from here down onto it, and it's going to really light up this pit right here with this more vibrant kind of reddish glow to it. So that's what I'm aiming for here with this. Okay, so just really light pressure, just kind of scrubbing it out. Okay, just kind of like that. Okay, just kind of something like that. See that? And what I'm going to do is actually get a little bit of yellow now into this. Yellow is really going to warm this up. And I'm going to get just a little bit of white, not much. Okay, kind of something like this. So you can see the difference as I mix it onto the value that I put down first, the change here, just a little bit of a change. And very little paint on the brush. And right in here, see how much more vibrant and more, how much brighter that is. And again, I want to fade this now into that orange or that reddish brown that I already put down there, and it kind of shows light kind of hitting it and fading off within the color that it's creating with the light. I think that really adds so much more shine and pop this way to the pit. And this is going to really, really zing. Okay, let's just get that down into here just a little bit more. See that? But I want to keep more of that brighter color up here to show the light that's really hitting it the most there. See, just like that. Okay, I'm going to clean this brush now. Okay, I'm going to let it dry it off. And I want to go ahead now and take this more, let's see, I'm going to get a little bit more yellow into that brown. And I want a little bit more white. Or a little bit of white, I should say. I never added any white. So just a little bit brighter. A little bit more warmed up with that yellow. Okay, something like that. And over here, you see right here, it's a little bit brighter than that base color there. Okay, and where I want it the heaviest of this color and the most, I'm going to start on the very right, far right of the pit here. And then I'll just kind of stir it up about right here. I don't want to go too much further in and lose that orangey reddish brown color that I put down, but see, I just kind of want to just kind of do something like that and bring it down like this. Okay, so something like that, as you can see there, yeah. Okay, and now what I want to do, I want to take this black here, this dark Payne's gray, and I'm going to go a little bit more raw umber into that because I don't want it as blued. So the brown kind of takes over the blue a little bit. Okay, so it's more on the brown side. Okay, very dark shadow color. And right down here, this is really going to pop this pit against those other vibrant colors that I put and give it more of that dimension here. Okay, and I want to kind of bring it up. Okay, turning my brush over with more paint on the other side of it so I can lay down more paint in this area. Okay, and just want to blend this up. See that? Just like this. Okay, and already we're starting to see dimension happen and come alive here. This is going to really get awesome here in just a moment on this pit. You're going to really see some stuff come to life. And this pit's really going to take off in such a magnificent way. Because one more time, I want to take some more of this. I want to get even more yellow now to warm that even further. And some more titanium white to that. So I really want to make this pop, this glow, this shine, this awesome looking color that the light's just going to kind of emulate here. So again, right up here you can see even brighter, even more pop to it. Again, the more layers and the more times I do this, the more vibrant this is going to become. So again, same thing, starting where I want it the heaviest and the most brightest and most vibrant. Of course, up at the top where the light's hitting it the strongest. And as I bring it down, there's less paint on the brush now since I started up here first, and that makes it easier with less paint to kind of fade this down and show this natural light kind of happening, this light play that's kind of fading off down onto the pit. See, just kind of like that. Boom, boom, boom. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some more Magenta Red that's more vibrant than regular red. Okay, I'm going to get some Cad Yellow, try to avoid some of that brown and green that was in there, just so I don't lose the vibrance there. Okay, and what I'm going to do is kind of move this around, see, kind of like this. Add some texture to the pit. Yeah, kind of like that. I don't want to cover up all that darker stuff. And if I do cover too much, again, as you know, go back in with that darker and knock back some of this lighter. And you can adjust this to any degree. So really just throw it up there and go for it. This is great practice to get used to the brush and really getting privy to just making details more precise, because you have this forgiveness and this room to really go in and make all of the mistakes that you need to make, which I don't even like to call them mistakes. I call them just a learning curve, because you can get through it. and you can change it, and you can even play it off and be like, oh yeah, I meant to do that because now I'm going to do this and now I'm going to do that. And as it builds up and gets better and turns out, people will think that you really knew what you were doing. You really knew what you were doing when it came to that. So, hint, hint, wink, wink. No, but for real though, you don't really have to be that great of an artist to do this craft. I'm telling you this, I believe anybody can do this. This is something that you just do, and then it just kind of magically just kind of happens for you. It really does. I'm telling you, it just does it. It's super awesome that way. Okay, so a little bit of paint left on the brush. I'm just kind of running this down. I don't want to go too far down into this dark, I just kind of want to do that. Okay, see, now we gave some texture to the pit there, as you can see. Okay, I'm going to clean this brush now. And what I want to do now is I want to take a little bit of Cad yellow, a little bit of, just a teeny bit of burnt umber, more titanium white, more yellow. Okay, I want to dull this yellow down with this raw umber. And let's see, I kind of want to do, I don't know, something like this. Okay, I'm kind of looking for this dull yellow color. Okay, kind of something like this. Okay, something kind of like that. Kind of almost the background kind of yellow that I put up here. And just a little bit of paint. And right up here, just kind of want to do this number here. See that? Just kind of run this around. And look at it, just builds this realistic texture super well this way. Isn't that nice? See that? Boom, lovely. Okay, I'm even going to put some of that down here in this area, because some of it is shining and reflecting down here as well. Okay, just like that, just like that. Not worried about it. I can just knock this back if I don't like it. All good. Okay. And let's see. We come in here very precisely. Okay, just the very edge of the brush. And I can do these little squiggly doos. Kind of like this. Yeah, see that? Okay, anything you want to do. All good. See that? Okay, I'm going to clean this brush now, because what I want to do now is I want to take a script liner brush, lots of water on a script liner, very important, and I want to take this vibrant color here that I made, this reddish orange, and I want to get more yellow and white into that. Okay, and I kind of want to do these little detailed lines like this. See that? I can kind of go in here now and run this in. See, that just adds some more texture, more detail. Just makes it pop more. clean that brush again and leave it wet. And I'm going to go back into this dull yellow, a little bit of raw umber into that yellow and some titanium white. Okay, this stuff here. And I'm just going to just kind of do something like this. Again, to my number 2 beat up flat brush. And once again, let's see, I'm going to get more of that color made. A little bit of raw umber and that yellow together. Titanium white. Okay. Okay, just kind of something like that. Let's get this to show up a little bit better. All right, I'm gonna go in here now again. I wanna get some more of that Magenta Red. I wanna get some Cad Orange. I wanna get some yellow. Okay, kind of something like this. And I really wanna bring out the vibrance. I'm gonna go around all of this flesh that these little flesh details that I did. Okay, just kind of like this. Kind of break them up a little bit. And again. Just kind of give this pop and that shine going. Okay, just kind of like that, just kind of bringing it over. Okay, kind of like that. And okay, how about that? Okay, now without cleaning, I'm going to take a little titanium white and let's really make this pop and shine. I'm going to come in here and let's start to give it that extra shine where the white or where the light's directly hitting it. Okay, with that titanium white in it. But before I go full titanium white, I don't want to go full titanium white because then I'll lose the glow and the shine. It's just white, it'll look like white is on it, like maybe a bird pooped on it. I don't know, versus the light hitting the pit and making it shine and glow. Okay, so just kind of doing that for now. Okay, and wiping a lot of that paint off the brush, but not going full titanium white just yet. I want to go again another round. And I want to go again, just kind of like this. See, and I don't want to take it all the way into that reddish orange. Okay, I just kind of want to do that. Can't even use my finger to kind of knock that down a little bit. And kind of bring this down, maybe, I don't know, something like that, yeah. All right, now it's starting to really shine. Okay, I'm gonna clean my brush. And I'm gonna just take pure titanium white now. And I'm going to just kind of be kind of specific with it. I'm not going to go covering all of it up. Let's see, I just kind of want to follow some of the flesh details and kind of just do something like this, yeah. Okay, just like that. Look at that. Now we got that rounded, awesome look going on to it now. Okay, a little bit more titanium white again. Okay. All right. Something like that. Okay. Cleaning my brush again. Don't want to get all that other color off of it. And one more time. Just titanium white. Just titanium white. Do something like that where the light is directly hitting it, and I'll even strike some of that titanium white along here. See that? You got little spots of light hitting it there. Maybe even down here some snuck in. I don't know. See? You can even get some of it shining up a little bit down there. Okay, just like that. And I'm actually going to get a little bit more of this darker Payne's gray value. And I just kind of want to bring this up a little bit more. Okay, just kind of up into this just a little bit more. See, like that. And then with this same value, just kind of want to show a little bit of separation here where, okay, I'm actually going to take a little bit of permanent black. Not much. I've added to my palette here. Okay, and you can use this dark Payne's gray, but I thought I wanted to go a little bit darker down here for a shadow. Okay, just kind of something like this, and then okay, kind of like that. And now I'm gonna take and clean that brush. And now I want to go into this burnt umber now. A little bit of cad yellow to it. Okay, and right under here, just kind of fill in the rest here to show some a little bit different on just the color from the table that's sitting on. And okay, kind of like that. See, so you got like shadow and you got a little bit of reflective kind of color happening there on the table. Okay. Now what I want to do is make some raindrops, because it's been raining and this whole thing's got water drops on it, and I want to make some of them bokeh and out of focus. So I'm going to take again my number 2 beat up nylon flat brush, so you can see all the bristles that are all had, and that is almost going to act like the natural bristles in a way, with these frayed out bristles on this to give me that out of focus fuzzy line kind of a deal there. And I'll switch brushes when I get more into here with more detailed stuff, but for now what I want to do is I want to take now some raw umber by itself, and maybe a little bit of this Payne's gray that I made with it. Not much, just kind of something like this. Okay, more raw umber than that Payne's gray. Just a little bit of paint on the brush, just barely any. See, I'm just kind of tapping it off, and I kind of want to go back in here, just barely scratch the surface, just kind of show kind of these blurred out little raindrop deals in the back here. See, like this. And I'm not worried about anything with them being too thick or whatever, or whatever. So I'm just gonna go like this. Okay, just kind of giving the indication of some of these things here. With a very dry brush, I want to go back into raw umber. I want to get just a little bit of titanium white. Okay, let's see, more raw umber. Okay, it's kind of like that. A little bit of paint on the brush. And once again, I want to go back over some of this stuff. See that? And it just kind of fades it out and kind of settles this stuff down a bit. Yeah, see that? So it's kind of just like it's blended in. Okay, kind of like that. Just some background stuff. Okay, real quick. I'm just gonna take again just pure titanium white. Just really want to sparkle this up. Okay, just like that. Just does something magnificent, I think, in that regard. Now, what I want to do is I want to take just titanium white again, and along here, just kind of want to show some little sparkling kind of deal as you see here on top of the rind. Yeah, see, like this. The light hitting it and it also being wet is going to really do something pretty cool here. Okay, see that? And you can get these little sparklers here to kind of do its thing. Okay, just like that. And then also titanium white again, same number 2 beat up flat brush. I can just use the corner of the brush really good. And I can just kind of do these little things. Yeah, these little water droplet kind of things happening. Really can be used to show texture. And as you can see, now we see the bumpy texture of this avocado rind really good now. See with these little striking little deals here. Okay. Okay, a little bit more here. Okay, after those raindrops here, let's cast a shadow onto the flesh here from our pit. This is going to give it even more dimension and pop. And we'll see that in just a minute. I'm going to get, again, my number 2 beat up nylon flat brush. And it's a very simple color. I'm just going to go with something general like some yellow, just a little bit of raw umber into that. Okay. Thinking something about like this. Okay. This is also going to be my shadow color that I do the raindrops with to show the drops all over the avocado here. So I'm just going to go down and I'm going to do something. Just kind of make this come up like this. Okay, just kind of however. Just kind of following the shape of the pit here. Okay, so alright, something like that. Okay, very simple, nothing to it, just filling this in with this general value here. And it is just a shadow, of course, so I don't have to like build any texture or anything or add too many values. No, it's just going to be something like this. Okay, check that out. Something like that. And honestly, if you ever looked at a shadow, sometimes when there's light hitting it as well, what you'll have is sometimes you'll have some of it broken up and have some color kind of showing through a little bit, yeah? So watch this, just kind of laying some of this in here. Okay, kind of like that, see that? Maybe that's a little reflection of these reflections that are reflecting into the shadow a little bit. And of course, if anything's too much or too little, take a value and put it in. Cover something up. Settle it down a little bit with some more value on top if it's, you know, whatever it is. Okay, I'm going to go back into that shadow color a little bit. And I'm actually going to settle mine down a bit. See, just like this. Okay, just something subtle. Something really subtle like that, see? And now we got ourselves a realistic shadow with some light playing in it with it a little bit. Okay. Okay, now I've got my number 3 nylon round brush. This is going to be perfect for doing water drops and those shapes that I need to create with it. So I'm going to now take some raw umber and some of this dark Payne's gray. Okay, pulling as I turn it brings it to a nice good tip on it. And I'm going to start placing these water drops, just kind of, you know, maybe something like this. Okay, right there. And then look, I can just come in here and just kind of do this number here, see that? For a water drop like that. Kind of create these however, and of course I'm going to knock it back with lighter value if I don't like it. All good, see? Now these are in focus, as you can see. See, just kind of like this. I'll even put some on the side over here. Okay, something like that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change up again with the out of focus look. And so I'm going to go into some more of that raw umber, just raw umber. I'm not going to get, well, maybe I will. I'll just get a little bit of that Payne's gray color in there and a little bit of paint on the brush, just a teeny bit. And watch, I'm just going to kind of fuzz this out again. See this? Just kind of do this. Okay, just kind of making these little things. More things there that are kind of out of focus in the foreground a little bit, yeah. All right, so something like that. Okay, I'm gonna come back to those water drops there on the table. So what I wanna do is make now water drops on our fruit here. And the shadow color underneath the water drops are going to be a different value along the green as opposed to the yellow lime here color that I made. So with that, I'm going to take a value now of just yellow and blue, a darker value like this, see that? A little bit more blue. Let's see. Okay, I don't want to make it too dark because it'll be too much. I just kind of want to go a little darker than the rest of the fruit rind here. So I'm thinking something like this, and I can start up here. And again, this is my number 3 nylon round brush that I'm using. I'm using the very tip of it. Okay, something like that. Just something very subtle. And let's see. Okay, something like that. See, it's not too dark. I want it to be very subtle. So it gives it a very natural, realistic look with water drops happening. So you really can just put these, however, I would say just have them pointed down. You don't want to point across because then that'll look kind of weird, maybe with the gravity and how the flow is going with water drops, making it more natural. So look, I'll even go like this. I'll put half of one over here, and then I'll get the other half with the darker value of this color here over there, and that'll really show some more realistic effect. Okay, really cool like that. Okay, like that, and okay, I'm gonna clean this brush. Okay, and now let's go back to our shadow color, same as this here, pretty much. It's gonna be, once again, some yellow, some raw umber, okay, a little bit more yellow. Yeah, something kind of like this. Maybe a little bit more white into that. Okay, something very subtle. And let's see, right here, just kind of want to bring this down now. Okay, kind of like that, see that? And right here. Cleaning off my brush. There's even going to be some drops on the pit here. So I'm going to take now some burnt umber and some raw umber together. Okay, something like that. A little bit darker shadow, yeah. And right there, a little bit. Okay, a few drops, not a lot. Now what I want to do is I want to take, again, some of that yellow, just a little bit of phthalo green to it, see, like this. And now I want to take a good amount of white to that. I want it very, very bright. Okay, something like that. And I'm going to go up here now. And I just want to go in the middle. I don't want to cover up all of the color involved here. Okay, just a little bit. Okay, kind of like this. Okay, just like that, and cleaning this brush now. Grab just that yellow, and a little bit again that phthalo green, more yellow, just a touch of burnt umber to it. Good scoop of white. I mean a great scoop of white. Okay, just a little bit more yellow and white. Trying to avoid those other colors that were in that white there. Okay, something like this. Something very light. And same thing. Just gonna go down here. Okay, not worried about. Okay, now I'm gonna take some Cad Orange, a little bit of Magenta Red, some yellow medium, and now a really good scoop of white to that. Okay, and I'm gonna come up here, and again, let's get this glow and this shine here on these. You see that? Just like that, yeah? And cleaning my brush again, I'm gonna go back into, let's see, some of this yellow and white. Some more white. Okay. And right in here. Okay, just kind of reflecting some of the flesh onto here. Okay, all good, just like that. All right, so I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit. I'm gonna come back now to this here. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna again take my beat up number 2 flat brush here. And I'm gonna go back into this raw umber, burnt umber. Some Cad yellow to warm that up, and now a good scoop of titanium white to that. Actually, I'm gonna get some more white. There's too many colors in that one now. So let's see, I'll just go ahead and do this. Okay, more white, here we go. Okay, something like this. Something that's lighter than what I have down, just a little bit of paint on the brush. And I'm gonna go kind of something like this. I'm not going to cover up all that dark, but just kind of something in the middle like this. And then like right here, I'm going to go kind of something like that. Okay. I'm just going to take just pure titanium white now. Okay, just kind of something like that. I really want to get some good amount of paint on there. But of course I don't want to use all of it. But I kind of want to do something like this. Okay, and then of course I want to do some kind of wet stuff here. Okay, kind of like this. Just kind of use my finger to kind of wipe that out a little bit. And okay, it's a little bit wet up there. A little bit of titanium white. All right, and so I'm gonna hit just some of these with titanium white, just like this. Not all of them though. Not all of them, just some of them. Okay, not everywhere. All right. So now what I'm going to do is go down here with that same brush, and I'm going to hit some titanium white like this. See that? There. All right, maybe there's a little bit of something in here. I don't know, something like that, yeah. Okay, with my script liner brush now, lots of water and titanium white, I'm going to sign right here, and I want to thank you so much for following along. Let me know down below how this went and any questions or comments you have. I'll be happy to answer anything to the best of my ability. And if you dig my art lessons, go ahead and subscribe for more video lessons. And totally give this one a shot. This is super simple, believe it or not. A lot of forgiveness. You can cover values up if they're not right. And every time you build up new ones, it just gets better and better, and this will turn out. So trust the process. And with that said, I want to wish you well and happy painting to you.